I've got Daryl and Kath on with us, and this is their first investment property. Now, as you know, we talk about the find it, fund it, fix it, the 5 F's: find it, fund it, fix it. Then you're going to figure out what you're going to do with it. You're either going to flip it or you're going to farm it. Now, I've been told a little bit about this property, but I'm going to ask them a whole bunch of questions and we're going to talk about it because step number 6 is to add real estate, add business to your investment accounts and start making extra money. One of the first 5 steps will help you to become financially free. That's not going to be enough, guys. With the way that the governments around the world are spending money and inflation is happening so badly, the rich are getting richer because they own properties, they own assets that go up in value. The poor are getting poorer because they don't. We want you to play their game. It's just a game. Life's a game and games are fun. We're not curing cancer. We're just having fun. So we're going to talk about Kath and Daryl's first property. And you know what? They're going to do it. It's going to be okay. They're going to make mistakes. It doesn't matter because it's not fatal. It's just a game. And then we're going to learn from it and go to the next step. So there's 5 F's. We're going to find a good deal. We're going to fund it. Then we're going to fix whatever's the problem. We're going to fix either the real estate or we're going to fix the person. Whatever happens to be, our job is to solve problems. Oh my gosh, doesn't that sound like step number 1? Solve bigger problems. Then we're going to figure out if we're going to flip it or we're going to farm it. Okay, let's bring Daryl and Kath on with us if we can there. So welcome, 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 Daryl and Kath. And do you guys have any pictures of this property? And can you tell us a little bit about this property, if you would, please?
Sure, let me share my screen with all the pictures that I've got on the property. So, well, first off, that's the picture in front of the property. So it has one bedroom and one bath. That's how the property is. So basically, we when we acquired the property, we fixed it, cleaning the bathroom and all fixing the stuff and the fixing the living room. And then we took a picture on our last night because by tomorrow someone rented it. If you can see that the girl standing in front of Kat wearing black shirt, that's a person who rented the property. So I guess right now what we're doing is we are already farming it.
Okay, so now I'm going to just ask you some questions because this is going to be kind of fun for me. So as we talk about it, we're
Sure.
going to talk about the 5 F's. And so step number 1, when we do that, is to find it. Now, a big
Mhm.
thing to remember, guys, is only 3% of all the properties out there fit our criteria. Now, if you just want to buy a piece of real estate and have it go up in value and hold on to it for a while, that's great. If you want to have a home to live in, it goes up in value, that's great. Our job is to make some money on it. You know, you make the profit the day you buy it, you cash the check the day you sell it. So if you fall in love with the property and want to own a property and live in the property and all that stuff, that's great. Our goal is we want to make some money. We're in step number 6. We want to create wealth. And so first thing is we need to find it. Just be aware that only 3% fit our criteria. 97% of the people want their price, they want their terms, they want their cash, whatever it is, because they don't understand any other option. And they don't really fit our criteria. But if you want to make some money, this is how we do it. So we want to find it. How did you find this property?
Yeah, first of all, I'm browsing on Facebook and I saw this guy selling his house, for a certain amount, and then I thought it was a good deal. Made a contact with that guy, and we made a deal, and I acquired the property from him.
Okay. So now what would you, so the first thing was to find it. Can you tell me what the value, what, if you were to buy this property and you wanted you to resell it in 120 days, what could you resell it for?
Yes, I think I can resell it for 1,000,003. That's 1.3 million.
Okay. And that's pesos, right? Okay. So it's 1.3 million
Exactly.
is the resale value.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's 1.3 million. Now, on this particular property, most people don't have an idea what their property's worth. Um, what was the total purchase price when you bought this property?
Right. Well, I I bought it for 690,000 with a down payment of 290.
Okay, so the first thing is the purchase price is 690. Why did you get such a good deal?
I think it was a good deal because the person who's trying to sell it is on a rush state, which means I think he needs money at that time.
Okay. So he didn't really know what it was worth, didn't really care about what it was worth. Um, and so that's where we were able to get that at that price then. Okay. All right, good. So that's
Exactly.
the
I think
second
so.
piece. All right, so continue telling me the rest of the pieces on here. Okay, so you
Right.
found
Well,
how you put $290,000 down on it, right?
exactly. Yep. 290,000 down.
Okay.
Um, and then the monthly amortization, because right now it's on mortgage, the monthly amortization of it is 2,500, meaning 250,000. I have to pay the mortgage company for 2,500 pesos a month. But the good thing is, I think it was a good deal because right now I'm having it for a positive cash flow because I'm renting it for 4,000, which means that leaves me 1,500. So I have to pay the mortgage for every month, 2,500, and then renting it for 400, which leaves me 1,500 positive cash flow. So I
Okay.
think
So let's go
I think
back and
that's a good deal.
let's go back and kind of figure this out. So the retail value, the resale value is 1.3 million pesos, and your purchase price was 690. Now you said that
Right.
your down payment was 290. Is that right?
That's exactly right.
Okay, was the down payment.
It's a down payment.
So you take 690 minus 290, that leaves you a $400,000 balance. Did you get a loan for
Uh-huh.
that 400,000 or was there already existing financing?
There's already existing finance to it, which I have to, that's the remaining balance right now that I have to pay on a monthly basis.
Okay. So what
And
we're
it
saying
happens to,
there's a first mortgage on it that's already there. There's already a loan on it for 400.
uh-huh.
So you gave the seller 290,000 and then you took over what we call subject to. We're just taking over the payments and there's $400,000 on it. What is the interest rate?
The interest rate is 6 point, uh, probably my best guess is 6.8.
Okay, about 6.8. And is this like a 15-year loan or a 30-year loan? How long's the
Yep.
loan for?
It's the loan for it is 30 years.
Okay, 30 years. And what is the payment on it? Monthly
Payment
payment.
is, well, yeah, the monthly payment is 2,500.
Okay. So what happened was is the purchase price is 690. You came in with a down payment of 290. There was already a loan on it for 400. So you just took over the payments. Now you're making the payments to the bank at 6.8% for 30 years with a $2,500 a month payment. Does that sound about right?
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. Exactly
So
right.
we found a good deal. Hey, that's a good deal. What I love about this is that you look at the value, you bought this thing for what, 60, 70 cents on the dollar, perhaps?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is that about right? About 60, 70%?
That's exactly. That's right.
So you got a really good deal. You came up with a simple down payment and now you're making the payments on it. Now, those are the first things. You found a good deal. You funded it. You funded it with your own cash for the down payment and you funded it. You didn't even get new financing because it already had financing on it.
That's exactly right.
I love doing that part. We call that subject to, and that's massive. Now, was there anything wrong that you had to fix with the property? Was there, how much fix up did you have to do?
Well, I think I fixed the property, get it clean and everything, all that. I think I spent maybe 5,000.
Okay. So it needed some what we call paint and powder. You didn't have to go replumb anything. You didn't move any walls. You just cleaned out the
No.
junk and cleaned it up,
Uh-huh.
and then maybe a new coat of paint, which would be very inexpensive. And that's what you fixed it. Now you fix two things. You fix the property and you fix the person. The person had a problem. They want it out. For whatever reason, they want it out. New job, second house, whatever it was. And so
Mm-hmm.
you gave them the
Mm-hmm.
290 and then they're gone. So now number four is then we've got to figure out what are we going to do? Are we going to flip it or farm it? And there's not a wrong answer here. It's kind of like what else? What are you going to do with your money? And how much money do you have and stuff like that? So here's the deal right here. Now you've taken that property, and if you're going to farm it, you could rent it out. And you said you could rent it out for how much a month?
Yeah, I am renting it out for uh 4,000.
Okay, so you get 4,000 minus the 2,500. That equals
Uh-huh.
1,500 a month in cash flow.
That's right.
Okay, is there anything wrong with that?
No, I
No.
think that's a good deal.
Hello, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Now, one thing is to farm it. And so you're growing a whole orchard of money trees. You got a little positive cash flow right there. That's pretty good. Now, the other option you've got is you're getting started since you're just getting started here. The other one is to flip it. Could you turn around right now and sell it to someone else? And I'm going to use some crazy numbers here. So right now you bought it for 1,300,000. If you want to sell that quickly, do you think we could sell that property fast? Let's come down here. Let's do a flip it right here. So do you think we could sell it quick for 1,200,000?
I think we can sell that for 1,000,000 too, because that's a
Okay.
zonal value
Pretty simple,
at
right?
this moment.
There's a $400,000 first mortgage on it, right? That would
Uh-huh.
leave you $800,000, 800,000 pesos.
Exactly right.
So you could turn around and sell it for 1,200,000, 1,300,000, whatever you want to do. But I'm just going to use 1,200,000. You're going to take your 200, your for 800,000. You've got 290,000 that you put down. So your profit is 510,000. Correct?
Exactly right. That's really a good deal.
Then what are we going to do with that 510,000? It's a four-letter
And
word. Next. Next. Do it again.
next deal, maybe.
So take that 500,000 pesos, and we're going to go find another deal. And so you can flip it. Now, the only reason I'm saying this is you got two options. One, you could farm it, and that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. Question: how much cash do you have right now to go do this again, or did you use most of your cash in the down payment?
Yeah, I've exhausted all my cash for that down payment.
Okay, so one option here would be to go flip it. We could go flip that property and take this extra money that we've got. Now you've got $800,000. You got a bigger hammer to go out and find more deals. So that's one way that you could do it. You could flip it, take your profit, and go do it again, and do it again, and do it again. So
Mhm.
that's what I did. Now, that's one way that I love to do is I'd flip it. Now, if you really want to farm it, can you remember right here where we're getting $4,000 a month in it, 4,000 pesos a month, and a $1,500 cash flow?
Mm-hmm.
We could go borrow some money on a second and put a second loan on there for 300,000, and that payment is going to be, well, I'm going to guess it's probably going to be it's going to be at least 1,500 or more. But you could put a second on that
Mm-hmm.
thing, get your money out, and go do it again.
Yeah. I think that's a great idea,
Okay, so
which means I don't have to worry for that second loan again because the monthly cash flow is paying for that.
correct. Right. So that's one option right there. Now, me personally, I would flip it and take this cash because I'm going to take that 290 plus my profit. So I'm going to have 800,000 right there. I'm going to take that 800,000. I'm going to go do it again and do it again and do it again and again. So we want to flip. And again, I've got an opinion. You get the vote. We want to flip this a handful of times and build up our cash. And then when we find a real good nothing down deal, oh my gosh, they exist. Then I would just keep it on a long-term farm. So that's what I would do. For example, on this example up here, if I could have bought that for 690 and there would have been a loan for 690 on it, and I just gave him a small down payment, then I don't have my own cash in it, and I could just hold on to it for long term.
Uh,
The good news is you got options, guys. You can do either one of these. The good news is you pulled the trigger. The good news, you went out and looked. Now, this is a game, and games are fun. Were you a little bit freaked out? Let's bring Kath on here too. All right, Kath, come on out here. Come on, be live on here if you can.
Yeah.
Was this a little nerve-wracking? Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. So tell me how you got over that. So Kath, how did you get over that?
Yeah. At first, I had a second thought, and I like the idea of flip it to flip because I think it's faster.
Yeah.
But,
Okay.
but I think what we learn here in foundation, that's the thing that we need to act. That's why we need to decide if farm it or split. Yeah, and it's like first thing is like I'm nervous, we're scared, like what if there's a lot of what if.
Okay, so you're nervous or scared. I heard you use the word game. Did you think this became a game? Daryl, is it a game now?
it's a game. It's a game, and this is our first game. I actually, and it's fun. We're having fun.
So games are fun, right? It's just a game and games are fun. So what was the worst thing that could have happened on this deal? Oh my gosh, I don't know. You got a whole profit in there. Um, let's say that the renters didn't make you any payments and you didn't have any money coming in. Well, you kick them out. Could you turn around and sell that property for 1,000,000 pesos right now and just get rid of it in 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think so. We can do that. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we could reduce the price for 1,200,000. I don't want her now. I want to get rid of it. So forget that. We'll just reduce it to 1,000,000 pesos. And so my profit on that's not going to be 800, it's going to be 600. Is that okay? Yeah.
Gosh, that's okay.
I don't care if you make a nickel or a dime or a quarter. I just want you to make a little bit and make it all happen. Now, the other thing that I love about it is that you're doing this together. Guys, get a woman on your team. You got to have a woman on your team. Why? Because men, we don't care. Kath, do you care what color the kitchen or the bathroom is?
Yeah.
Okay. Daryl, do you care what color the kitchen or bathroom is? No, we don't care. So if that house would have had bright green kitchen and a bright blue or bright red bathroom, people would walk in there and go, oh, I don't like the color of this bathroom. I don't want this property. So what we do is we go paint it an off-white or a cream color that doesn't offend anybody. And then they can walk in and go, oh, I like this bathroom. You know what? Maybe I'll paint it purple. Well, I don't care what color they painted, but you make it so that a woman is neutral and a woman likes it, because honestly, guys, the women really make the final decisions if they want to live there or not. You know, men, we're more interested in the deal and stuff like that. But so you got to have a woman on your team, guys. My wife and I have done all this together. Our first date we ever had, we went out for ice cream and then we looked at some real estate, you know, and we've been doing this for, you know, for our whole adult life. Okay. So give us some feedback here on some advice you've got for our students. Number one, guys, you need to own real estate. That's step number 6. You got to own some real estate. And the other thing is that real estate is going to go up in value. As the governments of the world don't pay their bills or they borrow more money, then it goes up in value. Okay. Real estate goes up in value. Businesses go up in value. Long-term stock goes up in value because of inflation. So give us some feedback, guys. Tell us some feedback about this property and give us some advice for our students. Daryl?
Yeah, I think we need some advice. If you know, if some of you have any idea, or you know, if you
Oh,
have,
what advice have you got for them? You just pulled off your first property. Give me some advice.
well,
Tell people what you did. Are you happy you did it?
well, obviously, you just have to go out and find a good deal. Well, pull the trigger, pull the trigger. Sometimes we're afraid that it might, you know, we might make mistake. That I think we will all make mistake, and that's how we learn on things. Not to mention when we first rented this, I made a stupid mistake. You know, but that was a lesson for me. That was a lesson for me. And one thing that I can advise is go out, find a good deal, and pull the trigger. Pull the trigger. That's how we learn. That's how we make things happen.
Okay. Kath, give me some advice to people that are watching this. Like, is this really
Yeah.
possible?
Yeah. So when you scared, you try scary things like this because we made it and we're so grateful that we did it. And if you're scared, you just to act like what we did. Daryl keep finding and want to find a good deal, and we did it. So you just need to act, try, uh, don't be hesitant, just try and try. And what Daryl keeps saying to me, life is a game and game is fun. And that's so grateful that we did it.
So what's incredible about this deal here is that you could have written that offer for 690,000 and negotiate a 60-day close. So, you know, I'm going to write an offer. The terms I'm going to buy it for 690,000 and we'll close it. We'll go through the attorney, we'll go through the title company, whatever it is, and we'll close it all in 90 days, 60 days, whatever it is. You know, I've done these deals this way. And then I had the right to go in and fix it up. So I went in and fixed it up. I cleaned it up, cleaned the crap out of it, turned the water on the grass, whatever it was. And I sold it and I resold it in that time frame. And then the new buyer came in and bought it, you know, for the $1.2 million. And my price was 690 that I was going to buy it for. And so I got to get the profit. I got the 510,000 worth of profit. And I never owned it. I never owned it, legally owned it. I had a right, I had an offer accepted. I had the right to buy it for 690. I had the right to be able to do it within 120 days. And if I didn't do that, I could give the property back. Okay, that's all basically in the paperwork. You know, we'd say, you know, I've got 14 days to do my due diligence. You know, check it out, make sure that everything's fine. And if I don't like what I see in the 14 days, I can just walk away. So all that stuff is easy to do once you understand it. Now I'm going to show you some cool pieces right here. When you come here to the Success Money Foundation and the courses, I'm going to show you some shortcuts here. But if you go to study successful people, best-selling authors, the guy that taught me a ton of this was Robert Allen. And so you can see there's a lot of my books and stuff, but here's Bob right here. So in there is the Nothing Down. He's got some spiritual books right here. How to Write a Nothing Down Offer, which is a wonderful book. I studied that thing. And the Nothing Down seminar is in here. So I would click on Robert Allen's material right here, and you come down through here. And there's books and classes, all sorts of wonderful things on Bob right here. Boy, you got a lot of great material here. Multiple streams of income book course that you can go through, the 1 Minute Millionaire with the guy who did Chicken Soup for the Soul. The courses here, they're letting us give it to you. If you want a hard copy, you can just get it on Amazon. There's the whole Nothing Down seminar right there. This is the seminar that changed my life. I sat there for 2 days, and the one thing that I got out of it more than anything else that was that it was possible. It was possible to buy real estate with little or nothing down. Now, it doesn't mean that the seller doesn't get money. It just means it doesn't have to be yours. So going back to this deal with Daryl, here's your deal right here. If you would not have had the 290,000, could you have found an investor that you could have done this deal with that would have given you the 290 and you give them half the profit or whatever percent of the profit you wanted to? You found the deal right here. You tied it up. You need $290,000 to do the deal. They give you they come in as your partner. They come up with the money. You sell the thing right here. We're going to flip it. You sell it and you make $590,000 worth of profit. And then you give some to him and you keep some. And you give some to your investor. You could have done this deal with nothing out of your pocket. You could have found a partner to do that with you. Now, I would have done that deal with you all day long. Let's see. I'm going to give him 290 and I'm going to make 200 on it. How long are you going to be out there for? Well, I'm going to have it out for 60 days. That's a great deal for an investor. So you could have done this, nothing down to you. Doesn't mean the seller doesn't get any money. It just means it doesn't necessarily have to be you. So you could have brought in a partner to do that deal. Now, I'm glad you didn't, because you get to keep all the money. Daryl, would you like to have given half that money away, or do you like getting all of it?
Well, I like to get them all the way throughout my pocket.
But it doesn't matter. Even if you had to give some of it away, does it matter? No, I'm thrilled. Okay, so here's the Nothing Down seminar. I want you to go through it, guys. This is the seminar that changed my life. 100,000 people went through that seminar, and it just changed my life. Here's the true story about how we took people out of the unemployment line. They had to make their money in 90 days. And so there's a whole online course there as well. There's the updated version, the 30th anniversary of that. There's the whole book, Nothing Down. You can get the book on it. There's the online course. Here's the How to Write a Nothing Down Offer. You just study this book. How did you write the offer? Well, this is what you did. And what's interesting here is that here's the book itself. Let's see, writing offers. We're going to do the case studies right here. The 50 Nothing Down techniques. You just did number one. Well, you did probably number 2 on here, but here's 50 examples of people that did a deal. And then it shows how they did the deal, how they found it. And then what did they do? Here's the offer. So here's the offer. Here's what they put in the offer. It's how they found it, how they funded it, and how they farmed it, and how they made their profit. So that is a wonderful piece that you have access to. So all this stuff here, just for the real estate, if you love the real estate, which I do, I still invest in real estate big time. I just do it with partners now because I'm spending all my time in the foundation. But you just come here to study successful people. And then let's scroll down to Robert Allen. And there's all the real estate stuff right there. You can also do that by simply going through the expanded classes. So here's the 7 steps expanded. And let's go down to step number 6, which is the 5, there's 6. Add real estate and bigger business. Click it right here. And then here's all kinds of wonderful stuff, multiple streams of income classes, real estate classes, and big business classes. But I think the big takeaway for me, Daryl and Kath, and for you guys is do something. They did something. They found a property. They went hunting. They had some fun. You know, a lot of people like to go shopping for shoes. I like shopping for real estate. That's more fun to me. I don't go shopping for shoes. I go shopping for real estate because it's fun, because it's a game. You find a good deal, you write an offer, you get it accepted. Then you have the rights, depending on what you put into the paperwork, to be able to do due diligence on it. You say, you know, I need 2 weeks to check it out to make sure there's no structural problems. I need to get my partner to be able to prove on this deal. And then you've basically got 2 weeks, if that's what you put in your paperwork, to go find a partner. Let's say you had nothing. Well, you go find a partner and they come in with the 290. You do the deal together and then you flip it and then you split the profits somehow. So guys, they do this in $100 million deals here in America. They bring us investors in and we come in with the down payments, and then they find it and they make a profit on it. They take 20% of the profit, and the investors that came up with the money came up with 80%. It doesn't matter what percentage you negotiate. But that's how you get started, guys. That's how you do it. And you do one little deal and you make a little money on it. And then the next deal is so much easier. And then the next deal, and the next deal, and the next deal. So that's how you make money with it, guys. So any last parting advice there, Kath and Daryl?
Yeah, I like that. I like that thought. Instead of shopping for shoes, t-shirts, and all that, just shop for for real estate. I think we don't have to go to a physical mall or physical market for real estate, but we have, we can use Facebook, we can use our, LinkedIn or whatever online platforms we can, just to find those deals and try to. I think that's a good idea where I will go to that nothing down, how to write a nothing down offer, and then search for it. I think there's a lot of them. And guess what? I thought this was not possible, but here we are. It's possible. So so for those of you who are here, things are possible. Before, I thought investing in stock market is very impossible, and we don't know about that. But we have our own investment accounts. We have our Go trades. We're redeeming Buffett bucks. We are putting those Buffett bucks into our own investment account. It's possible. Now, real estate, we thought it was not possible, but here we are. It's possible as well. So, investment, that's good. We got our stock. We got our investment account open. Now I think it's time for us to uh look for properties and invest in real estate. So I think that's the last words for me.
So if you made a net profit of 500,000 to 600,000 on this deal, you take your salary of what you made all year teaching school, and you made whatever you made doing that. And now look at, you just did another deal. Even if you don't sell it right now, you still have the equity. It's still yours now. You just increased your net worth dramatically. You're gonna be a million peso heir, and then a 5 million peso heir, and you get started. You have $100. You have 100 pesos. You're 100 peso heir. Congratulations. Then you're 1,000. Then 10,000. Then 500,000. Then a million peso heir. You're on your path, guys, and just do what they do. It's a game, and games are fun. So go pull the trigger and have some fun. Kath, any last words of advice?
Yeah, so just do it and try. Just need to find hands, and we are we're not alone here. We have a mentor and can share. We can ask questions. I know we can do this. So we did it, and I know you can do it also. So that's thank
Awesome.
you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks. Make it happen, guys. Life's a game and games are fun. Real estate's a game and games are fun. Real estate, stock market, business is just a game, and games are fun. Go have some fun. We're not curing cancer here. We're just having fun, and you're going to make mistakes. So what? Who cares? If I had a coin and one side's head and one side's tails, and I said, you got to go get me 100 heads, I don't care if you fail half the time. All I care about, you just keep flipping. Just keep flipping until you get what you want. Some of you are born, some of you were given some pretty crappy cards in this big game of life. Guess what? The cards you were dealt, you don't have to keep. If you can study, you can learn, you can go out in the marketplace, you can take your ugly card and you can discard it and get a new card. The game of life, playing cards, and you go out, you study, you work, you find a deal, you flip a deal, you get rid of a bad card, you get a new card, bad card, new card. You can change your hand. You can change the game. And games are fun. So go have some fun. And then as you do well, guess what you're going to do? You're going to help somebody else. You're going to help somebody else. And these little deals we're doing are no different than the $100 million deals that I'm one of the small investors in these big shopping malls and big real estate, and real estate's everywhere. Business is everywhere. We're just looking for that little 3% that fit our criteria. And again, you can buy real estate with nothing down and just hold on to it and be thrilled with it years later. I like to make a profit on it. You make a profit the day you buy. You cash the check the day you sell. Because I'm in the mode of trying to make some much quicker money, faster, quicker. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. That is a section on real estate. We're going to be right back with our next section.